Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be talking about a very popular topic, how to stop overeating junk food. So my name is Leanne Ward. I'm an Aussie-based nutritionist and dietitian, and I specialize in fat loss for females, gut health, and also things like emotional eating. So today's topic on how to stop overeating junk food is a really important one because it's questions that I get asked all the time, and it is something that I myself used to struggle with in my past despite being a nutritionist at the time as well. So I feel you guys, I hear you, and I've got some great tips for you today. So my first tip is to really check in with yourself and ask yourself, am I actually hungry, or do I actually need a proper meal? So it's not great to be eating junk food when we're actually hungry. So I like to call junk food things like soul food, food that we know is not necessarily good for us. It's not nutritionally balanced. I know that a glass of wine or a serve of potato chips is not actually good for me, but I like those things and they make me happy. So I call them soul foods because they make my soul happy. They're perfectly okay in small amounts. What we don't want to do is have them in large amounts. So if we're actually hungry, it's best that we go and prepare a nourishing meal for our body. When we're physically hungry, our body needs good fuel to keep it going. When we just want something for the pure taste or pleasure or satisfaction, it's a celebration, somebody else's, it's someone's birthday, we want a piece of cake, all of those things are completely okay. We don't want to be eating these types of foods when we're actually hungry, because guess what? We're going to eat far too large a portion of it and we're going to feel quite unwell or heavy and bloated and puffy afterwards, which is not ideal and it's not a nice way to feel. So we just want to have these, what I call soul foods or our junk foods in small amounts. And we can only do that if we're not actually physically hungry. If we're hungry, go and eat a proper meal first, and then we can come back afterwards and have a little bit of ice cream or have a couple of squares of chocolate or something like that after a meal. Now with junk food, I feel like a lot of people don't practice mindful eating. So what we want when we're eating these delicious foods so that we don't overeat the portions is to eat it really mindfully. So get rid of any distractions. If I'm sitting there and I'm watching TV and I have a massive thing of popcorn, guess what guys? I'm going to eat the whole thing because I'm going to be doing this while I'm watching the movie. We don't want to do that. We want to really be mindful and minimize as many distractions as possible. So perhaps in the ad break, turn the TV to mute and really pay attention to that food and enjoy it. Actually taste the food. I know that sounds like a really funny concept, but too many of us don't actually taste the food. We're just inhaling it. We're like munching on the chocolate block and we're watching TV, or we're scrolling through Facebook and we're shoving in a spoons of ice cream from the tub, and before we know it, we've eaten half a tub of ice cream. We're not being mindful with our eating and we're being completely distracted. So turn off the TV, don't eat while you're playing with your phone, and actually sit at a proper table and eat that food and pay attention to it so you taste it, so you savor it, and you actually enjoy it. My third tip is to actually portion out an amount of that food. If you want some potato chips, if you grab the bag out of the pantry and you just eat them, guess what? Potato chips are delicious. You're going to eat the entire bag more than likely. So actually take the tub of ice cream, take the bag of potato chips, get the chocolate block, portion out a small amount, put it into another bowl or a plate, put the food back into the cupboard or the fridge, and then go and walk into another room, sit down and enjoy that food. If you sit there with the bag of potato chips or the bag of crackers, just eating them out of the bag right in front of the pantry, you're going to eat far more than you ever intended. So moving into another room to eat your food is really key, because the concept of out of sight, out of mind is a really important one. There's actually been some behavioral research that shows that people eat twice as much if the food is directly in front of them in their eyesight. So after we measure out a small portion of that food, we want to pack up the packet or the bag, put it back in the pantry or put it back in the fridge and get it out of sight, out of mind. And then physically moving us into another room actually really helps in terms of enjoying that portion size and not tempting us to go back for more as well. My next tip to help you guys stop overeating junk food is to savor every bite. So just like what I was saying, when you actually have to taste the food, we want to savor it as well. So we don't just want to inhale something as quick as we can. We want to slow down, we want to chew it properly, and we want to notice the flavors, the texture, the smell, the deliciousness, how the chocolate melts on our tongue. We want to eat it as slowly and as mindfully as possible. And if you don't understand what mindful eating, just give a quick Google of mindful eating, search for a couple of YouTube videos on mindful eating, and I promise you it can really change your relationship with food for the better, because you learn to taste your food, you learn to appreciate the food, and after you've actually finished eating a portion of the junk food, or what I call soul food, you can sit back and go, oh my god, that was delicious. Like that chocolate, oh, that was amazing. Or that couple of potato chips I ate, that really, really hit the spot. I'm so satisfied now, I'm gonna move on. Versus when we're eating a lot of junk food and we're not really paying attention to it, we tend to overeat, which tends to lead to feelings of guilt afterwards, or I'm such a bad person, I can't believe I did that, I ruined my diet. We don't wanna eat these foods that we love and then feel guilty afterwards. We don't wanna do that. That's a horrible way to feel. We wanna feel great afterwards. So if you take a portion, measure it out, enjoy it, slow down and savor it, then guess what? You're gonna feel great afterwards, not terrible. The goal is to eat our soul foods and actually feel good afterwards, not bad or not shame or guilt. We don't want any negative feelings after we eat these delicious foods. We want to feel good after them, but keeping our portion size small is key. Minimizing distractions and actually taking the time to physically enjoy that food and taste it is absolutely key. And then the final part of this video, which I find is really important and which really helped me in my own journey in terms of improving my relationship with food and reducing the amount of junk foods that I ate in one sitting, was just to remind myself that I can have more tomorrow, and I can have more tomorrow, and I can have more tomorrow. So I used to say to myself, well, I've started eating this chocolate, I may as well finish the whole chocolate or finish every Tim Tam in the packet or finish the rest of the ice cream in the tub. There's only a small amount left. I've already ruined my diet. I may as well eat it all now, get it out of the house and start again tomorrow. But guess what, guys? I would go and buy more tomorrow and the cycle would continue. So what I say to myself now is, I'm going to have 2 squares of chocolate. I'm going to sit down and enjoy it. And if I feel like more, I check on myself and I say, am I actually hungry? Do I need to be going and making a really nourishing meal right now? Or if I say to myself, no, I just feel like 1 more square, that'll do. But if in my head I know that if I have another couple of squares, I want more and I want more and I want more, I just say to myself, you know what, Leanne, you enjoyed a few squares, you're not actually hungry. Let's go and do something else. And I remind myself that I can have more tomorrow. The thing is, when we don't restrict these foods from our lifestyle, when we actually allow ourselves to have them, the feeling of wanting to overeat them goes away a lot. I think when we think about these foods as bad foods or foods that are off limits or foods that are bad for us, our body or our brain wants them 10 times more. So we always end up overeating. So allow yourself to have it in a small portion. And if you feel like more, just say to yourself, Leanne, you can have more tomorrow. You can have more the next day. And for me, that removes any sense of urgency, like I need to eat it all right now and get it out of the house. And I just say, that chocolate was really good. If I feel like more, I can have more tomorrow. Then I can just be on my way. I'm not obsessing about it. I'm not thinking about it constantly. And I have that really nice relationship with food where I eat a lot of whole foods to nourish my body. And I have a little sprinkling of soul foods every now and then, a little bit of chocolate, a glass of wine, a couple of potato chips. But I don't overeat those things because I know that when I do eat too much of them, I don't feel great and it takes me away from my goals. So I always remind myself, I've had a small amount, I enjoyed it. If I want any more, I can have a little bit more tomorrow, I can have a little bit more later on. I don't have to eat it all in the one sitting. So that is how to stop overeating junk food. I really hope that this video was helpful for you guys. As I said, I'm Leanne Ward. I'm a Aussie-based nutritionist and dietitian and a sports dietitian as well. You can follow me on Instagram. I'm at The Fitness Dietitian. I'm on TikTok, Leanne Ward Nutrition, and I have 2 top-ranking podcasts, the Leanne Ward Nutrition podcast and also the Nutrition Couch podcast, which I co-host as well. Thank you for listening to this video. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel because I have plenty more videos coming for you guys. And if you have any questions, please drop a comment for me. Make sure you like this video in order to support me, and I'll make sure I make plenty more videos for you guys if you do like it. And if you have any more topics of videos that you would like me to cover, please drop me a comment below and let me know what videos I should make next for you guys.